I have one more quick question, just about the vortex. And is there, it sounds weird, but is there different levels to being in the vortex? Like some days I'm just like satisfied and I'm like cruising along and everything's like good. And then other days I'm ecstatic and so is there like am I coming in at different places into an alignment or?
Really? Whether you feel ecstatic or whether you feel satisfied, you have equal access to your vortex. But here's the distinction. Just surrendering to the well-being of your life experience does not have you bouncing off the walls with enthusiasm. We understand what you're talking about these degrees of emotion, but let's call that momentum within the vibration. But when you meet your vortex, so here's your vortex, pure positive energy, and you meet it with no resistance. Meditation is meeting your vortex with no resistance, and your mind is quiet. Your mind is quiet, and yet there you are, ready to receive. So once you receive, and then you begin to focus in vibrational sync, in vibrational likeness with that satisfying feeling that you allowed your first receptive thoughts. Then as you focus more specifically under the influence of that connection, that's when the emotion turns from satisfaction and peacefulness into that feeling of invincibility, into that feeling of passion. But that's as you come out into the world and you begin playing with others. Are you getting what we're talking about? We would rather see you in a state of appreciation than in a state of meditation, because in a state of appreciation there's more activity going on within you, and you have objects of attention that you're focused toward, so the energy is flowing through you in a more dynamic way. And the more energy that's flowing through you in a more dynamic way, the more you like it. In other words, it feels like more hands-on creating. But that period of time, let's have this conversation. The period of time, you talked about 20 minutes for mood changing. It doesn't take but seconds for your mood to change from satisfaction and peacefulness and contentment to clarity and eagerness and invincibility. In other words, once those floodgates are open, and once thoughts begin to flow to you, and once you find an object of attention to which you want to flow your pure positive energy thoughts, that's when the big stuff begins to happen. Did you hear that? And did the volume that Esther mustered help? That's why there are those who want to sit and meditate for long periods of time. And we are not offering any objection to that. We just want them to understand that once you're in alignment, you're in alignment. And once you're in alignment, then be the advantage to yourself and to the world that you were born to be. Focus on something and let that energy that creates worlds flow through you, because that's where your satisfaction becomes more and more and more and more.